Hello everyone and welcome to this week's assembly. Okay, so it's me, Mrs. Halliday, again sharing this week's assembly with you, and our focus is going to be all about what it means to be part of Gladstone Road School. Okay, we're a very, very special school, and you're here for 7 years if you're here for the whole time of your primary education. So because you started when you're 4 and you leave when you're 11. Okay, so you're here for a really long time. So let's have a think today about what it means to be part of our school. Okay, but just before we do that, I want to play a piece of music to you. Just like if you were actually walking into the hall, into an assembly, you would hear a piece of music being played. And we want to do exactly the same, but just as part of our recorded assemblies. Okay, so I'm going to start with a piece of music. I just want you to listen to it for the very first time. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen. Turn on the sound so that we can all hear it. Okay, ready to listen. Okay, right, so I'm going to play that piece of music again, and we're going to have a little think about it. Okay, now I don't know whether you might recognise that piece of music. You might have heard it before, you might not have heard it before. It's a very famous piece of music. The piece of music actually is much longer. It's just that this is the most famous part of it, the first couple of minutes. Okay, right, so I'm going to play it again and I'm going to share my PowerPoint with you at the same time. So let's just go back to the beginning. Okay, so this is called Zarathustra, and it's by Richard Right, so I'll just go backwards a little bit. So I asked you whether or not you liked this piece of music, okay, which is by the composer Richard Strauss, okay, and it's called Also Sprach Zarathustra, which is a bit tricky for me to say, which also means opening sunrise. Okay, now Richard Strauss, he is famous for writing a number of large works for an orchestra to play. Okay, and as you know, an orchestra is made up of lots of different instruments. Okay, so that's what he is famous for. And he used to write pieces of music based on stories, on traditional stories. Okay. Now, I wonder what sort of instruments you could hear when you listen to that piece of music. Well, hopefully you could hear some drums, and hopefully you could hear some trumpets, and hopefully right at the end, did you hear an organ? Now, there were lots of other instruments playing the music, but those were the ones which really stood out for me. Now, this piece of music is really famous because it was used in a film called 2001: Space Odyssey back in 1968. So that's even before I was born. It's a very famous film, and it made this piece of music also very famous. But it means that this piece of music is now always associated with space, but it wasn't actually written or had anything at all to do with space, and it was composed long before space travel had even been developed. Okay, and as I said before, the whole piece lasts for over half an hour, but it's only the first couple of minutes that are famous. So when you were listening, okay, then right at the beginning there's just one single note, okay, which is played by the lowest pitched instruments. So that's the double basses, the bassoon, and the organ, the church organ. Then you could hear the trumpets playing a 3-note fanfare, and then you could hear very loud drums. I'm sure that you spotted that. Okay. Right, so that's our piece of music. We're going to listen to it one more time before I move on to the rest of the assembly. Okay, so I just need to, whoops, oh, I forgot this bit nearly. Okay, this is when the piece of music was written, okay, just before 1900. It was actually written in 1896. Okay, and Richard Strauss is German, and the style of this music, it's classical, and it's orchestral because it's played for written for an orchestra to play. Okay, so this is where we are now. Okay, well, we're beyond 2010, aren't we? We're in 2021. Okay, but you can see here, look, we've got Adele written here because she's a famous songwriter, isn't she, and performer, singer. But here, look, so in the Romantic period, it's called, just before 1900, so over 100 years ago, this piece of music was written. Okay, right, so let's just listen to it one more time before we go on to the next part of the assembly. Listen out for those instruments, okay? Right. So we're going to think about what it means to be part of Gladstone Road Primary School this week. Now, our school motto is learning to succeed, and that is at the heart of everything that we do. And you can succeed at so many things, can't you, in our school? Okay, so you might succeed really well in your maths lessons. You might really enjoy maths. It might be your most favourite subject and you're really good at it. Okay, you might succeed in an art lesson. That might be something that you really enjoy and that you're really, really good at. Okay, you might succeed in PE. You might be really, really good at playing different types of sports. Okay, and that might be something that you succeed at. Each and every one of us has something that we can succeed at. Okay, and in fact, succeeding doesn't mean that we have to be brilliant at something or it has to be our favourite subject. We can succeed at something even if it isn't our favourite subject and even if it's something we find a bit tricky. Okay, now I remember the first time I had to record one of these assemblies and I couldn't do it. I found it so difficult. I had to keep stopping, deleting, then coming back to recording another one and then stopping and deleting. It just didn't go well the very first time. I needed to practice, but I succeeded in the end. Okay, so it's at the heart of everything that we do here at Gladstone Road, that learning to succeed, and I hope that you all recognise that. And I hope that after today's assembly you will remember our motto if you didn't already know it. It appears on all our letters. It's all over the place, but you might not have spotted it until now. Okay, so I would like you to really try hard to remember our motto, learning to succeed. Okay, whoops, gone too far. Let's go back. Previous. There we are. Okay, so how are we recognised? So this is our school emblem, isn't it? Okay, we've got a blue circle with the image of two pupils, a boy and a girl. Okay, and that's our school badge. So it's a little bit like our motto as well. Okay, and it's our emblem. Lots of schools might have a royal blue jumper or cardigan like we do. You can see it down here, look. All right, but they don't all have our badge on them, do they? And you only wear this jumper or this cardigan if you come to our school and you're part of our school. Okay, and we're very, very proud of our school badge. Now, can you remember our school rules? You might have forgotten these because it's been like a yo-yo this year, hasn't it? Sometimes we're in school, sometimes we're out of school. Okay, so you might have forgotten our rules, but they are: number 1, try our best and never give up. Number 2, we are polite and use good manners. Number 3, we care for each other and our school. Okay, so that's what we expect of all our pupils, all our children here at Gladstone Road. So just have a little think. Do you do these things? Do you try your best and never give up? Are you polite and use good manners? Not just to adults, but to each other. Do you care for each other? Do you care for our school? Okay, so I want you to try and remember those rules as well. So we've got our motto, learning to succeed, and we've got our 3 rules: trying our best and never giving up, being polite and using good manners, and caring for each other and for our school. Okay, now everyone at Gladstone Road carries an imaginary bucket. Okay, and we can fill each other's buckets up, can't we, by saying and doing kind things. We don't like to have to focus on those children or those things that happen in school which might empty somebody's bucket. So when we do unkind things or say unkind things, not only does it empty our own bucket, but it could empty the bucket of the child that we're saying that to or doing it to, because it makes them feel sad, doesn't it? And their bucket is going to start to empty. So we want to fill each other's buckets in our school by saying kind things and doing kind things. And you should be talking about those things in class. Okay, so if you haven't got back into the habit of doing that yet, remember that you should be picking out some examples each week from your class bucket, which isn't an imaginary bucket, it is a real bucket, and you should be focusing on what's happened that week. Who has been really kind and done something really kind? Okay. And we have traffic lights in our school, don't we? In all our classrooms, we have our green, amber and red traffic lights. And we all know what that means. We look for green behaviour, don't we? So when we're in the classroom, we want to see green listening, green sitting, okay? And when we're walking around school, we want to see that children are green walking, okay? Now, you have to come to Glaston Road to know what that means, don't you? Okay, because not all schools have traffic lights, and not all schools will know what you mean if you said, I'm doing green walking. They would get a bit confused and wonder what on earth you were talking about. But we know, don't we, here at Gladstone Road, that green walking means walking sensibly and quietly. We know that green listening means that we are paying attention and we are listening well. We know that green sitting is sitting up smart, showing attention. Okay, so hopefully, and this is what I always look for when I go into classrooms and I pop into classrooms, I always look for the traffic lights and I look to see and check that everybody's peg is always on green. Okay, because if you do get moved onto amber, you can move it very quickly back, can't you? Okay, now when things go wrong, because they do, okay, what we do here at Glaston Road is we use some particular questions to find out why something went wrong. Okay, we will ask you what happened. We will ask you, how has this made you feel? We will ask you, what do you feel about this now? And what should happen next? And those are all examples of what we call restorative questions, because we're trying to put things right. If you restore something, you put it right, okay? You put it back together, okay? So you will recognise these questions because these are the questions which the adults ask you when they are talking to you about something which might have gone wrong. Okay, now we like to say well done here at Glaston Road when things are going good, okay, and this is the different types of ways that we do it. So your teachers might give you a dojo and you can earn a dojo individually, or I know that some classes can earn class dojos, and that's absolutely brilliant. So you earn dojos for when things are going well and you're showing all that green behaviour which I talked about. Maybe you've said something kind or done something kind, and you might earn a dojo for something which might go into the class bucket. Okay, there's lots of different ways to earn dojos. It's not just about doing good work. Okay, it's about the school rules as well, trying your best. Okay, looking after each other, being polite, using good manners. If we see children doing those things and following the school rules, you will earn a dojo. Okay, you might earn a merit. You might earn a prize from the brain box. Okay, I know how everybody enjoys getting a prize out of the brain box, and I enjoy being able to get all those prizes. I like to look for different things so that it's not always the same prizes. And then of course we have our good news assemblies in year 1 and year 2, where your good work is recognised, and also you earn a head teacher's award, don't you, if you've shown that you've been following the school rules. Okay, so you've maybe been working really hard and trying your best. You've been polite, used good manners, and you have looked after each other. Okay, your teachers are looking out for that all of the time. And in Key Stage 2, you might earn the Brocklehurst Award. Okay, now we only hand those out termly, don't we? Okay, so you only get 12 chances across your time in Key Stage 2 to earn a Brocklehurst Award, and they are so prestigious because not everybody earns one. Okay, now not so much at the moment because of the COVID pandemic, but usually we stand out from other schools because we offer different clubs and we encourage children to try new things. Okay, and we really enjoy having you come along to our clubs at the end of the day. So as soon as we can get them all up and running again, we'll be doing that. Okay, and you'll be able to come along. And another thing which we stand out for is our trips and our activities and our visitors that we have to help us with our learning. Okay, I am so heartbroken that we can't go to London again in year 6 this year. Okay, and I know that year 4 you had to have your lovely trip cancelled, your residential trip where you stay away from home. You had to have yours cancelled too, and we're so sad about that. Absolutely heartbroken, but that's the COVID pandemic, unfortunately, and we can't do anything about it. But as soon as we can, all our trips will be happening again, and we'll be able to have visitors back into school as well. Okay, right, so what I want to do now is I just want to finish off with a video. Now, you may never have seen this video, but this is on our school website. Okay, now we like to show off just how brilliant we are here at Gladstone Road. Okay, because we're all brilliant. You're all brilliant, the staff are all brilliant, and we want children to come here. We don't want them to go to a different school. We want them here at Gladstone Road because we know that we can help them to succeed. Okay, remember our motto, learning to succeed. Okay, so we put a little video together which is on our website for parents who are maybe looking at schools because they can't go into schools at the moment. We thought, well, we'll put a little video on and they can have a look at what it might be like to come to Gladstone Road by watching our video. So I want to share that with you all now because I don't think many of you will have seen this video. Okay, so let me just click on it. Here we go.
Could happen. The stars look different tonight. They're glowing all around me. It's flowing through my
Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video, and hopefully some of you spotted yourselves. Some of the photos did have our previous year 6 children, but there were obviously lots of photos and videos, particularly of the reception children, so that we can show off just how brilliant it is to be in our reception classes if you come and join our school. So all of you, each and every one of you, should be so proud of yourselves. Okay, you've coped with a lot this year, an awful lot with the COVID pandemic. So be really proud of yourselves. All right. Stick to our school rules. Okay. Always try your best. You don't have to be amazing at everything. Nobody can be amazing at everything, but trying your best. Okay, that resilience, that never giving up, that's what matters, isn't it? Okay, being polite and looking after each other, that's what's really important. Okay, so that's the end of my assembly now. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you do want to watch that video again, or if you want to show friends and family at home, it's on our website. Okay, it's on the home page as soon as you open it up. Okay, right, so have a good week everybody, and I will see you around and about. Remember to say hello to me when you see me and you pass me in the corridor, or I'll see you outside. Okay, bye bye.